the thing. There's no way the buzz is related to the backdrop.
No, it's... I know why people are saying it's like, oh, it's gone now, it's come back now. The reason why is that in the titles and the wide and the credits, we're getting PC audio, but in the other ones we're not. And the thing is caused by the interference on the PC audio cable.
Oh.
So...
Interesting.
It's basically the headphone jack... The headphone jack on the PC is sending interference, probably related to just it being, the built-in sound systems on motherboards are often not grounded the best, so there's some sort of weird.
That is weird.
So
okay.
So I'm gonna have to look into ways to fixing it. Yes, need to. Problem is I think the problem is actually in the jack, not in a cable. So a new cable might not help. So we might have to get like an independent sound card or something, which is like $20. It's not expensive, but it's just annoying.
It's worth mentioning that that EA Sports story basically shook out, like, the fighter himself sent them a tweet being like, hey, I'm Muslim, and could I please not make the sign of the cross? Because that's actually not okay.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, shit, sorry. And they fixed it. And then he was like, great, thanks, EA. You guys are all right. And they went, sorry again.
Yeah.
And everything was fine.
It was
all handled very well. But it was just like...
It was just, like, it was probably one of those things where they're like, the people doing the thing, it's like, he's not doing it in like a religious way. It's just a thing that fighters do. And then the guy who's
do that.
Muslim is like, it is kind of a religious thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah, it kind of is, yeah.
We're just from a culture where Christian is the default, so we don't see it as a thing.
Yeah.
Such is the way of things.
Like, we could turn the thing off when we're on the wide here. It just means you wouldn't hear the sub noise.
Yeah.
So that should do it, right? Just unchecking that. So, all right.
You probably don't hear it anymore.
Now there's no background noise, but there won't be a sub noise if someone subscribes. So. Anyway, news, all kinds of news. So yeah, the I don't know if you saw. Ow! We're fine. We're fine.
I'm fine. I don't know about you, but I'm fine.
I don't know if you can probably stop local recording now. I don't know if you saw Beach going nuts on this on Twitter about how even after the people admitted that they made these fakes, that people were still like, the sites were still going like, it turns out that the leaked images were fake. And he's like, that means they're not leaked images. That means it's just fake. Don't say the leaks are fake. They're just fake.
They were fake, yes. The fact that they were leaks was also fake.
Yeah, exactly.
That was part of the fakeness.
Yeah. And he's like, this happens every time.
Right, yeah. That's the other thing is it happens every time.
There's always like, look at this new controller. Oh, it turns out it's fake. Right? And it's like, yeah. What I just love that one guy did these 3D renders, and then without discussing it, the different guy made the actual prototype.
Mm-hmm.
And the first guy was like, what?
And the first guy like even tried to contact the other guy, and he didn't get any response.
Yeah. The second guy, by the way, we actually have. Let me show you the video that was playing in the opening titles there. This is super cool. So the guy like makes prototype electronics, like he prototypes gaming consoles or whatever. So this is
it's clearly in his wheelhouse.
Yeah. So check this out. Look at the sprues on that thing.
Woohoo!
Break it off the thing there. He posted a 7-minute video on like how he made it. Clean it off in the bath. or set it or whatever the hell part of the process that is. Clean off the sprues. There we go. And sand it, paint it. So yeah, I just like that. Almost as like a an exercise that this guy was like, I could really make that.
Yeah.
I just thought it was really neat.
And to get both the people who did it, like they have both independently posted YouTube videos about like just to prove that it was a fake. It's like, look, here's the CAD file for it. I did it. Here it is.
My favorite conspiracy theory about this was, in one of the pictures of the real one, like the 3D printed one, you could see a bit of a keyboard that had an atypical, or at least a non-English keyboard layout.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see a tree reflected in the base of a monitor. And people were like, I know what it is. This is Massive Entertainment, which I believe is an Ubisoft studio in, I want to say Sweden? I'm trying to remember, but it's like this keyboard layout and these trees. You look at this exterior picture of Massive Studios, you can see that it's the same kind of tree, so it must be them. And that was very quickly refuted by people going, that picture was taken 3 years ago. Here's today. There's no trees.
Also, one, it's like a blurry reflection in the base of a monitor they're going off of. Two, it's winter. So it's it's a tree with no leaves on it. Trees with no leaves on it all kind of look the same.
That's true.
As somebody who lives in a place with a lot of friggin' trees that lose their leaves in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
A cherry tree and like an oak tree, when you're viewing it this small, when they
warped in the base of a monitor,
and you're warped in the base of a monitor, and they don't have leaves, look basically the same. It's a brown thing with.
Wait, a tree? I've seen a tree once. I know where that is.
Yeah.
Same tree.
All right. What else we got here?
The Rock Band thing. It's not looking good. They need 1.5 million for their crowdfunding thing, and they've got just over 500,000.
Mm-hmm.
They have 8 days to go.
I mean, it's kind of a like, as much as we've worked with some of the people from Rock Band before on stuff, like when we were doing the Escapist News Network and things, and they're super cool people.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that it's like it's not even like a new game. It's like a port of a game.
Mm-hmm. To be fair, the people that we're on first name basis with don't work at Harmonix anymore.
It's true.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not even like a new game that they're trying to crowdfund. I'm not saying that porting it to PC doesn't take a lot of work.
No.
I'm sure it does. But in terms of like excitement for people, like anybody who is really excited about Rock Band has had ample opportunity to play Rock Band.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a tough sell. And it's not looking too good. They're less than halfway to their goal, and they only have 8 days left. So.
Yeah. Really sucks for people who are starting to plan up working on Rock Band Network again for PC. Yeah. No, I agree.
I remember going to at PAX when they like introduced Rock Band Network.
That was really cool.
And it was like, holy crap, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like, and it was totally amazing. But unfortunately, it was kind of at the start of the downward trend of the sort of music plastic guitar games.
Yeah.
So it possibly wasn't as sort of massively influential as it could have been, but
right, the PlayStation 4K or the PS4K is really interesting. I highly recommend you go to Eurogamer and read the Digital Foundry article on it, because they sort of break down. They're like, this is the chip the PS4 is using. This is the only jump that's been made in chips so far. If they wait for this chip, there would be, they're like, between the PS3 and the PS4, you went from this chip to this chip with all these stages of evolution. There just hasn't been enough evolution in chipsets between the PS4 and now for this thing to work in a console form factor. And it would not be able to run 4K games as well as the PS4 currently runs 1080 games. And like I said, you also wouldn't be able to tell the difference probably. But
well, and it's this thing where it's like, because it's hard for console companies these days because they're using sort of quote unquote commodity parts. I mean, they customize them, obviously, but they're using like the graphics chip in a PlayStation 4 is a customized version of like the Radeon something, or like it's a known PC chip.
Yeah.
That they've actually slightly downclocked in order to, because the thing is that in order to fit within the power and space and heat envelope of a PS4, they have to make certain things, and so these guys, like, they can look at it, they can be like, this is how much power a PS4 needs, this is how much space it takes up, this is all the stuff it needs to do. Even if it was a different shape, the new PS4, it still would have to be able to play PS4 games.
Yeah.
Which means that there's a limit to how much technology they can change, and it would still have to, like, they couldn't make it require a whole bunch more power than it currently uses. And so there's a fairly, and then so they can just look at AMD's chart and be like, they're currently using this one. This is theoretically the best chip that would be available and fit within these circumstances. And yeah, it's a better chip. It's probably twice as good.
Yeah.
But even twice as good, 4K gaming is like,
it's real big.
The whole
surface area.
Surface area stuff, right? If you double the resolution, if you're doubling the resolution, you're quadrupling the amount of pixels you have to render.
Yeah.
Right? That's how it works. And so you have to more than double the
power of the chip.
The power of the chip. And the PS4, like, even if the PS4 can do 1080p pretty well, better than the Xbox One anyway. But if it could do, like, if they're like, yay, it can do 4K, but only crappy games. It's like it can do Peggle at 4K. Whee! Would not be that impressive.
I mean, if they can get Peggle in 4K and Ode to Joy on surround sound, and I had a 4K television and a surround sound thing.
7.1 surround sound for Ode to Joy. I mean, you probably could play Peggle and listen to Ode to Joy in 7.1 surround sound.
That's true.
Then you wouldn't even need to wait to the end of the level to get it either.
VR Peggle.
I would not be surprised if PopCap is working on that.
Yeah.
So anyway,
what else?
Yeah, super hot 4K.
Also the Steam controller. I just thought, now this quote was from October.
Yeah.
Before they launched it, but the quote from Valve saying that the version available at retail isn't meant to be the controller's final version, I just find really funny. It's like you know you can't patch a physical, like, you send it away,
and yet that's basically what they're doing.
And you can't, but you can't do what? So I don't know. I just thought that was kind of weird. But yeah, they've released the CAD files, and they're like, go for it, make whatever you want. We have to approve it before you can sell it, but go to town.
But if you're not selling it, you could just, like, you can
make whatever you want for yourself, yeah.
And you can just, like, release the CAD files for it on was it the thing? Shapeways.
Yeah.
If you want to just put it out there. So, I mean, it's very cool. Like, this is it's one of those little, like, it's like, hey, maybe this could actually, like, 3D printing becomes a thing, all this stuff. Maybe if you want your PS4 to run 4K stuff, you 3D print a new case for it, put it in a new graphics card, boom, it does 4K stuff.
There you go.
Obviously, that doesn't work now.
Featherweight, that's true. Nintendo patched the Wiimote with that giant rubber cover. Oh yeah, the Wii Motion Plus, actually. That's true. That's true.
They did put out a new... I mean, adding new things to a console or to a thing is not necessarily different. But what Valve's idea with Steam is not so much like a patch. It's that it's like a mod. right? It's like the idea that you can like download mods to your controller effectively.
Yeah.
It's like it's like the Steam controller is cool, but what I really want is like an N64 controller because I have 3 arms. And so you could like make a 3-armed case for your Steam controller, I guess.
Nyren, that's true. Yes, you can patch a physical object. That's where the term comes from. Yes, obviously. But you can't, like you say, you can't patch them all at once. Yeah. Someone was asking, Uno, I think, was asking, I have used a Steam controller. It's weird. It works. It just takes a sec. It took me a little while to like get used to how the D-pad works, because it's like a little trackpad kind of.
It's like a halfway between like a touchpad and a D-pad.
Yeah, it's very odd. Like, it's not bad. It's just different, which is fine.
And things that are different are bad.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It's not bad, it's different, but things that are different are bad. So through the transitive property, it is bad. What other stories do we have here real quick before I have to take off in 10 minutes? Okay, so we did you may have heard there was I may be getting I may be getting confused between Awesome Games Done Quick and Summer Games Done Quick, depending on the time of year, but I'm going to just say at AGDQ a couple years ago, they did a tool-assisted run of Super Mario World, where doing this thing that I know we've talked about before, where by doing certain actions in the game, you put certain things into the memory in the cart, and then you have it execute basically this code that you've programmed into the memory, and it will jump you to the end credits of the game. And that's like the fastest way to beat Super Mario World. Obviously using glitches. So they did it with a tool-assisted thing at AGDQ. Then at SGDQ, someone did it manually in person. Then at the next AGDQ, there was a 4-player race of that. In a year, it went from this can only be done by computer to a guy did it to now people are so good at doing it, we're having a 4-player race of it.
Yeah.
So here's a new one. This one was Seth Bling. I see some people in the chat talking about it. Seth Bling, it took him 53 minutes to do it, but jumping around, doing certain things in Super Mario World, programming by getting certain sprites locked into certain parts of the RAM and then executing the file, he programmed Flappy Bird in Super Mario World.
Yeah.
At a certain point, everything starts going weird. It's graphically strange, and then you hit a thing, and then it restarts, and Mario is swimming, and there's the warp pipes, and it works like Flappy Bird. The warp pipes, it randomizes. You hit one, it restarts you. It counts each one you go by. Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. That he's just playing Flappy Bird, on an actual Super Nintendo hardware with a Super Mario World cart.
Mm-hmm.
Because the person he was talking to on Skype or whatever, there was like at one point there's a graphical glitch that shows up, and the guy on Skype was like, that only happens on the hardware, not on the emulator. So I need to figure out why that is.
I like that that's probably faster than you could actually just program Flappy Bird.
Probably. This is not the... Oh, is this the Flappy Bird one? Yeah, it is. Yeah. So yeah, they if you go to about the video that Anubis just linked to, if you go to about 4.5 minutes in, is just about. In fact, let me find you an exact time code. He's still jumping around.
About 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes into that video, then he executes the code, and then he's playing Mario Flappy Bird.
Swimmy Bird.
Swimmy, Flappy, Mario Bird, Plumber Man. It's so weird. So weird.
All right. Somebody made a they do like those exhibition games like in NFL or like Madden.
Yeah.
Where they're like, who's going to win the Super Bowl? And then they'll have like the computers play each other. They did that. Somebody did that except for the presidential race.
Yeah.
And also using Worms Armageddon.
So they made 3 teams in Worms Armageddon. One team was Hillary and Bernie. One team was Trump and Cruz and Kasich. And I think that might have been it.
Yeah.
And the other team was
The American public.
the American public, which was made up of like 8 players who always skipped their turns, named things like the poor, young people, African Americans, the underprivileged.
Yeah. As you may guess, it did not go well.
That team didn't go well.
It did not go well for the American
The
public.
American people died pretty quick, as it turns out.
Yeah.
I won't. I won't spoil who wins if you want to see it, but yeah. Oh, they were all separate teams, one candidate per team. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I thought they were. By the color coding, I thought they were on. I thought they were on teams, but there was one team of the American people who all didn't have a good time.
There's a story it's actually a little bit like the thing we were talking about with the basketball player who has ridiculous 3-point shots.
Oh yeah. Where is that? It's
Scroll up.
Oh, did I miss it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
There you
Oh
go.
yeah. In MLB The Show 16.
So MLB The Show 16. So there's, forgive me because I don't know anything about baseball, but there's a player named Pat Venditte, who's a pitcher in MLB, in Major League Baseball, who can switch pitch.
Actually, he's actually a minor leaguer.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's not actually in. It doesn't matter. Anyway, he switched pitches.
So there's switch hitting is a known thing. This guy switch pitches. He can pitch just as good with his left hand or his right hand, which is, from what I understand, ridiculous.
Yeah, that's real difficult.
And so he can switch. He switches depending on who's the guy he's batting against, and so because it's for various reasons, it's better to be pitching with certain hands if the batter is certain-handed. And so when they brought him into the game, they actually added special functionality so that you can control which hand he's going to pitch with.
Yeah.
But it's not like you can, as with most of these sports games, there's the players that are like real players, and then you can custom make your own player. This is the only player who has that ability. You can't customize it onto one of your own players. Only this one guy in the entirety of the game can do the switch pitch. They added a special thing just for this one guy.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You have to pick. A player using him will be prompted to choose his pitching hand when the opposing batter is a switch hitter. Otherwise, he will use the same handedness as the opposing batter because that benefits the pitcher. So, I just think that's really neat. In real life, he can choose whenever, but in the game, they're like,
Actually, apparently in real life, the MLB had to actually come up with. I don't know if it was a new rule but they had to they actually had to have a rule. There actually is a rule about force him. He has to choose a hand.
A player,
for each batter. He can't keep switching.
When he was drafted, the Organization for Professional Baseball Umpires developed a rule in consultation with the major leagues governing how switch pitchers may use their arms during a game. A pitcher must declare his hand before each at-bat and then remain with it through that at-bat unless for some reason he injures his arm but can still continue with the other.
And then because the problem is, if you have a switch pitcher and a switch hitter, they'll just keep switching back and forth to try to get advantage.
So the pitcher has to decide if he's a switch pitcher, he has to go, okay, for this batter, I will be pitching with my left. And then the switch hitter can go, okay, then I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
The
Oculus Rift is going to be introducing, or will be using asynchronous time warp capabilities,
which is less cool than the name would appear.
It sounds rad.
Yeah, it seems
what
good.
It means is you're less likely to vomit.
Yeah,
which is also good. It's just not as cool as you might want out of something called asynchronous time warp.
So this is something that apparently the Samsung Gear VR does already, and they're taking it. And basically, what they figured out is the thing that makes people sick to their stomach is when what you're seeing doesn't line up with how your head is moving.
Yeah.
And so what they've found is that, and so in order to compensate for that, they'd have to run the game at like at least 60, if not like 120 frames a second.
Yeah.
In order to keep up with people, and so you don't get lag. But what they found is that the thing that people really care about is the moving the head back and forth. When you're just like walking or whatever, it doesn't matter as much.
Yeah.
And so what they found out is what they can do is make it so that you can move your head and look around the scene at 60 frames a second or really high frame rate. But the actual rendering of like guys moving around in the game doesn't have to be at that same really high frame rate. It can be at a lower frame rate, which saves computing power and electricity and all that important stuff. And so by combining the two things, they can make it so that there's more types of different games and better games that don't have to have ridiculously high-end hardware to actually make it happen. Combined with making it so you can move around your head and not get sick to your stomach.
Yeah.
So yay.
Yay. Okay. I'm going to welcome some subs, because then I have to take off, because I have to do something at 2:30. Whoop. Doot, 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 doot. So, welcoming back today, Sir Jack DB with a 2-month resub. Welcome back, Sir Jack DB. Captain Ender 7 with a 28-month resub. Welcome back, Captain Ender 7. It's a little fewer resubs than usual. I think a lot of people resubbed on Saturday.
Yeah.
Death Javu with a 6-month resub. Welcome back.
Not a small number of people resubbed on Saturday.
Yeah, welcome back, Death Javu. Thank you for 6 months of support. Real Gamer Cow with a 27-month
Except
resub.
no substitutes.
Except no substitutes, only the Real Gamer Cow. Welcome back, 27-month of support. Thank you very much. Orthochromatic Dragon with a 5-month resub. Welcome back, Orthochromatic Dragon. Togashina Ruta with a 27-month resub, just like Real Gamer Cow. Actually, a couple people in the 27 and 28th month range today, so thank you, Togashina Ruta. Mirnus with a 9-month resub. Welcome back, Mirnus. Thank you very much for your continued support. Lord Crusher with a 6-month resub. Welcome back, Lord Crusher. Thanks always for your support. Underscore with a 14-month resub. Thank you so much, underscore 5-core. Hail the RNG with a 14-month resub. Welcome back, Hail the RNG. Sampy104 with a 27-month resub. Welcome back, Sampy104.
Woo.
Fit Orion with a 21-month resub. Thank you, Fit Orion, for 21 months of support. And Binary Girl with a 27-month resub as well. Thank you so much, Binary Girl, for your 27 months of support.
I kind of wish Hail the RNG had like a different...
A random number of months?
Yeah, different number of months subscribed each time. It's like, thank you for subscribing for 2 months or 35 months.
67 months. How?
You have to do whatever, who is it whose month count is all messed up?
Oh, Mr. Flip.
Mr. Flip.
Yeah. And then, oh yes, one more thing.
Very, very important.
That I want to show you. See if I can get it over on this computer, though. I can't. Hang on. I got to switch this back. Okay. Hang on. There's one other story. Once the computer... There we go. So they released DLC, the Automatron DLC for Fallout 4.
Which is apparently super sweet.
Which lets you do stuff to the robots. So here is Codsworth. Let me just... This is Codsworth, your robot butler. But in the Automatron DLC, you can modify him. He's also he's available as a companion in the game. In the Automatron DLC, you can give him legs, meaning that you can give Codsworth... You can fundamentally change how he moves around. You can give him a Sultron legs, meaning Codsworth has a butt now.
Yep.
Meaning that people are all about super sexy Codsworth.
Yep. What is the I love some of the show the fan art there.
Oh yeah, hang on.
There's some pretty amazing fan art has been made. Yeah, there you go.
What is this one?
Yeah, Codsworth definitely did not skip leg day.
Yeah. Draw me like one of your French butlers. So, Appleguard with a 26-month resub. Welcome back, Appleguard. Thank you so much for your continued support. So, that's it for me for today. In fact, that's probably it for both of us.
Yep.
'Cause that's all the stories. Paul will be back in half an hour with things on my stream. You finished Minish Cap.
Finish Minish
Finally.
Cap. Finish Minish.
The Finish Cap.
The Finish Cap.
Do you know what you're doing today?
Actually, I started what I'm doing today.
Oh, you started
at
of course.
In the end of the last session. I've been playing Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Old school
LucasArts value.
LucasArts, yeah.
Love it. Fantastic.
So hopefully we can get into that and figure out what the heck's up with Atlantis.
Yeah. Lord Zorano with a 12-month resub. The 1 year from Lord Zorano. Thank you so much. Welcome back. And yeah, that's going to be it for today. Don't go away. Paul will be back in half an hour.
Alrighty.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.